In this video, I'm going to show you how to download your student data files that you'll need to complete some of the assignments in this course. Then I'll show you how to unzip that file so you have access to all of those data files. In Blackboard, you want to go to the student data files link on the left-hand side. Now I have a zip file for each of the various sections that we'll be covering in this course: discovering computers, Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and Access. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go ahead and download the zip file. So you'll see where I have the title of that particular area that we're going to be covering, and then you'll see a zip file. And I also have the instructions in case you forget after reviewing this video. A zip file is really just a file. It's a folder is what it is. A folder that has subfolders or other files inside there. Because we can't send folders to other people through email or as attachments on web pages, we have to use a compression program. And what that compression program is going to do is going to take that folder and the contents within that folder, and it's going to shrink it. And it's kind of like an accordion. It's going to take both sides of that accordion and bring it close together as tight as it can, so that when you're downloading this zip file, it is bringing everything with it that was in that folder, and it's going to bring it down a lot faster. Now, when you receive this folder, or this file, excuse me, this zip file, and you download it on your storage device, you can't really use the contents of that zip file. You can view it, you can open some things from it, but you can't save in the same location. So what you always want to do anytime you receive a zip file is you want to decompress it. So it's taking that accordion that we brought both sides together and shrunk it down, and we're expanding it now. And you will need a compression program to do that as well. Some of the compression programs you may find out there, and there are freebies out there: WinZip, 7-Zip, there's a few others. So depending on what operating system you have, it probably will come with a compression program, and also depending on what platform you're using, whether it's a Mac or a PC, depends on what compression program you have. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to show you how to download it, and I'm going to show you how to unzip it. I'm using Firefox as my browser, so your browser also depends on, or will dictate what you do as far as the steps. Now, if you just left click on this, then you're going to get, at least I'm going to get, my dialog box that says, do I want to save it or open it up? But I already have this established like this in my Firefox browser. By default, if you have Firefox and you haven't set this up in your options, it'll actually download it, and you'll have to click on this folder, or this little arrow in the upper right hand corner, and I hate that. It's just extra steps. So if you don't have your browser set up to display that Save As dialog box, then just right click on the link and get the shortcut menu. Now, your shortcut menu may contain different wording of the options depending on what browser you're in. I'm just going to left click on Save Link As, so look for something that indicates to save the link. And then I'm going to navigate to my storage device. So this is where I'm going to go to my flash drive. I already have my flash drive in my computer. And I'm going to click on it on the left-hand side in this pane on the left, which is just kind of like your tree of everything that you have access to on your computer. Then I'm going to go ahead and double-click on my course folder. And I believe this one was the Discovering Computers, so I'm going to go into my Discovering Computers folder. And then down here at the bottom you can see the file name, which is the same name that I have on the Blackboard course page. But you can also see that the file type is a zip file as well. One thing I want to bring to your attention is this does have the extension .zip. When you guys are creating your own files, please don't type a period and then letters following the period. That confuses people, and that does confuse the program, because what happens when you create a file in a program, the program automatically establishes the extension, so you don't need to. The reason for that is if somebody were to double click on the file, not knowing what program you used to create it in, it will search their computer for a program that uses that extension. So don't type a period in your file names, and just let the program you're using create that extension. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Save, and then I'm going to do the same thing for the rest of these. I'm going to right click and then left click on Save Link As. I'm going to come up to my address bar and go back up the steps to IM111 folder, and then down into my Word folder. And there's my zip file for the Word data files. Click Save, and right click on PowerPoint, left click on Save Link As, up to the address bar, back up the steps, and then down one step into the PowerPoint folder. Click Save. Same thing for the Excel. Right click and then left click on Save Link As. Go into my IM111 folder and then down into my Excel folder. And one last one. Let's get that Access folder. So we're going to right click. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Here we go. Right click and then left click on Save Link As. And then let's go into our IM111 and then down into the Access folder and click Save. So now we have all the student data files for each of the 5 areas that we're going to be covering in this course. So now it's time to go into our file management program and let's start unzipping. Depending on what version of Windows you're using will dictate how you're going to get into that folder. Now I'm on Windows 7, looking forward to getting Windows 10 here in a couple months, but I'm going to just go ahead and double click on my yellow folder. Now if you're not obviously in your IM111, again, go to your flash drive or storage device and then double click in your course folder. We'll start with the first folder that's listed here. We're going to double click on the Access. Now to unzip, just right click and you'll have some kind of a option here on the shortcut menu. Mine says 7-zip, or you can do extract all. I'm going to go to 7-zip just to show you this because sometimes you get these sub menus. Now I do have folders set up for each chapter in each of the applications we're going to be covering, so don't do extract files, do extract here and let it go, and it creates the folder that I had in the subfolder for you, and inside there will be your files. Now, once you're done unzipping, you can click one time on that zip file that you downloaded and just press your delete key and get rid of it. You don't need it anymore, and I don't want you to get confused and start double clicking on that file thinking it's a folder and start using the files and trying to save in there. We're going to go back up into our IM111, do the same thing for discovering computers, and again right click. Now I have 7-zip, extract here, let her go, and we'll do the rest of them so you can see what you have for each of them. And I just delete the zip file. Again, it's that folder, it's a file really, but it looks like a folder because it's got a yellow icon but it has a little zipper on it. Alright, so I'm going to right click, 7-zip, extract here. Now this one has several chapters in it, and that's why I don't want to do extract file and have it duplicate the folder. So I have a folder for each of the chapters that we're going to be covering in the book. Alright, let's go to PowerPoint. PowerPoint's a pretty hefty file because of all those audio and images. 7-zip, extract here. This might take a little bit of time. You can see it's definitely got quite a bit. Now, if you find that your internet connection is rather slow, you might want to shoot me an email, and I do have each of the chapters for each of the 5 areas in a zip file, so we can download those individually if you need to. And let's go ahead and delete that zip file so we don't get confused because it's a file, not a folder. Then we're going to go into Word, and actually I already have some of these here, so let me delete them because you guys won't. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and right click, 7-zip, extract here, and there's a folder for each of the chapters that we're going to be covering in Word, and then don't forget to delete that zip file. Alright, so that's how you're going to be downloading and unzipping. If you have any questions, give me a call.